Hello class, we're going to start using Adobe Animate today. You can open Adobe Animate from the bottom left corner on your computer if it is PC, and all Adobe products are listed here, and Adobe Animate is right here. And on Macs, it's in the application folder, which is just at the bottom of your screen, the little rocket sign. You can go open Adobe Animate from that part. So when you first open Adobe Animate, you're going to have a new document screen. It's when you first open, it's different. It has like 3 columns on this panel, and it doesn't matter how it looks, but you're going to go ahead and choose ActionScript 3.0 when you start to open a new file. This is your stage area. That's where your animation is going to be playing, and you can change the size of the stage just by going to the properties. When you click on the stage, your properties of the stage is going to be shown right here, the size of width and height, just right here. If you just play with it, you will see how it changes the size. And also the workplace is pretty similar to Photoshop, so it's not huge strange for you. The toolbox is right here, and the properties panel is here on the classic view, essentials view. If you remember from Photoshop, we have workspace combinations. They're like presets, and right up here, if you click here, we have different types of workspace. These are all different combination of the toolboxes and stuff around your screen. Just a different way of putting them together. So in case if you just lose one of these toolbox or any other assets that you want to use, you can just go ahead and reset, and it's going to go back to the normal when just like how you opened it the first time. And if you want to see any of them like larger, like here, you can just go ahead and make that area larger. With when you see this double arrow on the border, you can pull or push and to make it to see easier. So today's assignment, you're going to draw a face and the body of a girl. You can just use the same tools. As long as you use the same tools, you can go ahead and do like minor changes like the color or shapes sometimes, but you need to use all the tools that necessary for that assignment. That's another video. But for this, I wanted to give you a heads up with some of the tools and some of the features that you will need and you have to be very careful about. The first one is when you are drawing, you have to have object drawing mode on. I just want to show you what happens when it is off. The first thing, when you're drawing here, this is a rectangle, this is a circle and rectangle. I draw, and at one point I want to change their size, or I want to arrange them like just to the circle come forward and the square goes backward or stuff like that. Whenever I need to do that, you just go pick the selection tool, which is the black arrow here, and you go ahead and pull this, and this is what happened. It just immediately just combines those shapes as you draw without object drawing mode on. So you have to just keep it on when you're drawing on this assignment. It is sometimes necessary to keep it off, but not for this assignment. So let's see what happens when you just draw with this tool is on. Let's just pick another color for this square rectangle. So let's see. Since I just draw these two when the mode is on, here's what happened. You can always go ahead and change their position, their size, their colors completely separate, and you don't lose the whole shape. You can just even like arrange them, like let's just send this rectangle back and bring that circle forward. If you just right click on the shape, you will see this arrange, and you can send it all the way back, or one step backward, one step forward. It's all available here. So you might again remember from Photoshop, when you click one tool in the toolbox, the properties of that toolbox, that particular tool appears on here in the properties panel. Like here, every time when you pick a different tool, the properties panel changes accordingly. So you can do all different settings, all different options for that particular tool right here. So that's one thing that also important that you need to know. And what else? I think that is okay for today. Well, actually, when you are editing the shapes, I want you to know that what you see underneath this little black arrow here is very important. When you see this like cross, that means you can hold down and move stuff around. That is move sign. But if you just go see like a little arch, you know, as around this shape, you can just go ahead and pull the edge, or you can just change the edges that way. By the way, when it is selected like that, you can't see those like arches and stuff. So here, if you can pull, push, and if it is like straight edge, you can see the sign. You can see this corner sign. You can just pick the corners.
Good morning. Please stand for the
I think that's all for today. When you are done, you can just go ahead and save. But on this one, you're going to export image
to the republic
to save as an image, and that's what you're going to submit to the classroom.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pledge to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee,